Buckle up, aviation fans. Today we're taking a sentimental flight back in time, exploring the remarkable journey of the Southwest Airlines Boeing 727-291, registered as November 406 Bravo November. This iconic trijet was once a short-lived member of the Southwest Airlines fleet, and it has a story that spans nations and operators, so grab your boarding pass and get ready for takeoff. Born in 1968 on Boeing's Renton assembly line, this aircraft wasn't destined for Southwest initially. It served the original Frontier Airlines, carrying passengers across the western half of the United States. But fate had other plans, as a new president of the airline, Alvin Feldman, converted the entire jet-powered fleet to Boeing 737-200s and sold off all the Boeing 727s. This opportunity allowed Braniff International Airways to purchase this aircraft in early 1972. This aircraft was initially painted in the blue jelly bean livery that was part of the group of different colored liveries that Braniff flew back in the 1960s into the 1970s. This aircraft's initial service with Braniff Airways would be brief, however. In 1979, the aircraft was placed on a 2-year lease to up-and-coming short-haul airliner Southwest Airlines. This was due to Braniff and its partner airline Texas International losing an antitrust lawsuit to Southwest Airlines about its operations out of Love Field, just to the north of downtown Dallas, Texas. This aircraft would be the first of a total of 7 Boeing 727s to operate within the Southwest aircraft fleet, with the other 6 aircraft coming a few years later in the 1980s. However, the aircraft was returned to Braniff Airways less than a year into its 2-year lease. So the aircraft returned to Braniff Airways in early 1980. Instead of returning it to its original blue jelly bean color, this aircraft was painted in the airline's red jelly bean livery. However, just 2 years later, in 1982, the original Braniff International Airways would cease operations due to mounting debt. This aircraft would not immediately go on to a new operator. It was stored and maintained at Dallas Love Field for several years by Braniff subsidiaries that continued to operate. In 1985, the aircraft was purchased by the leasing company International Air Lease Corporation and then turned around a month later flying passengers for charter airliner Aero Aero. However, this too would only last a month, and by August of 1985, this airliner was flying passengers for Pride Air, based out of New Orleans, Louisiana. However, Pride Air flew only for 3 months, and again this airplane was left without an operator due to a company's bankruptcy. Early 1986 saw this aircraft leased to the second iteration of Braniff International Airways, which had restarted the name back in 1983. Initially, this aircraft was painted in the red, white, and blue billboard livery that they used when restarting operations, a recall to the livery the original Braniff Airways wore prior to the jelly bean livery era. By 1990, the aircraft was repainted again, this time in the mahogany version of the Braniff Ultra livery, which had started being painted on the original Braniff Airways aircraft prior to that airline closing down. 2 years later, in 1992, this aircraft would be flying out of the Dominican Republic with the Dominicana de Aviación Company. Even with Dominicana titles, the aircraft was still flying with mahogany livery left over from its days with the second Braniff Airways. The aircraft went back to flying passengers for Aero Air from 1993 to 1995. This would be the end of the aircraft flying passengers. The aircraft underwent a cargo conversion in June of 1995 and was leased to a company called Arriva Air International, a company with which we have not much information on. This airplane would fly cargo for Arriva for 2 years. Starting in late 1997, the aircraft changed hands again and started flying cargo for Charter America. The aircraft was purchased by a company called Aerosky in 2002, but we don't think it did any more flying past this point. Then in 2005, a company called One Charter LLC purchased this aircraft, moved it to the San Antonio International Airport, where it sits, with all 3 engines missing at this date and time, providing parts for the one Boeing 727 that flies private customers for a company called Paramount Jet. This aircraft wasn't just a plane, it was part of countless travel memories. Passengers who flew on it share stories of vacations, business trips, even first flights to friends and family to this day. These personal anecdotes paint a vivid picture of this airplane's impact on people's lives. The Boeing 727, with its distinctive T-tail and 3 engines, holds a special place in aviation history. This aircraft story exemplifies the aircraft's versatility and enduring appeal. It served multiple airlines, touched countless lives, and even today is still part of a small part of the aviation scene. This aircraft's journey may be over, but its spirit lives on. It serves as a reminder of the golden age of aviation, a time when innovation and passenger experience were paramount. So the next time you see a 727, remember the story of this airplane, a plane that truly took flight and touched the hearts of many. Thank you for watching our story on this old Southwest Airlines Boeing 727. You can watch a video on the history of one of the other Boeing 727s that flew with Southwest Airlines here, or you can watch any number of videos here that cover any range of Boeing 727s. And here, you can subscribe to this channel to continue watching for more aviation content. And if you want to support our channel financially, so that we can purchase better computers, software, and fund trips to aviation museums for future videos, you can provide funding at our Patreon page here, or give us a super thanks contribution of your choice, located just below the bottom right of your screen. Thank you so very much for watching our channel, and we hope to see you all again soon.